to enter a commercial fur class. When you are entering your rabbit in the commercial fur class, you must signify on the entry form commercial in front of the word fur, okay? Otherwise, the secretary has the right and will assume that you mean breed fur class. Okay, so let's talk about that. Don't be confused with breed fur class, which is shown after each breed. So every breed can be entered in their breed's fur class. So what that means is whether it's a Rex or a Satin or an Angora, I guess they have fur class, right? And any breed, an English Spot, a tiny Polish, at the end of the showing of their breed, they'll go through all the varieties, all the classes, and they'll place best of breed, and then they will have a fur show. Now, they'll only have this if people enter it, obviously, okay? My youngest daughter raises Dutch rabbits, and a lot of the Dutch people like to enter in a fur show, okay? And it's just the Dutch up there to see which Dutch has the best fur, okay? They're not entering in a commercial fur class where they're up against, an American or a New Zealand or a Palomino or a Tan at the same time, okay? So you can just enter your even your Holland Lop, that's rollback fur and not commercial, can have a fur class at the end of its breed judging, okay? And so if you don't specify that you're entering a commercial fur show on your entry form or when you send in your email, the secretary will assume that you mean you want it to be shown with other rabbits of the same breed immediately following the breed show, okay? Now, so you would just write and like if you email, I guess we all pretty much email. Sometimes we might use a show program to enter our rabbits at some bigger shows. But like if you're sending in an email, you would just fill it out, with the breed, the variety. I guess you don't have to have the class. Like they're not going to be shown junior bucks all together. Okay, they're just going to be all together there. But you could have that, and then of course the ear number, and above that you would need to, or to the left of it, you would need to write like commercial fur entry. Now that being said, I have only been to one show with a commercial fur class, and I started showing when I was 11. So
Convention.
I don't.
Convention. They have
Convention.
Convention
Okay.
has a commercial show the night before.
That's right.
The regular show. So if they're doing judging on Saturday, the commercial show
Would be
the day before.
would be
Like,
Friday,
it'll
or
be,
I think it's actually Saturday night.
it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then the all breed show starts on
Sunday.
And the commercial categories, like they have the commercial meat classes.
Yes.
And then they have the commercial fur
Commercial fur.
classes, and that's what you're talking about.
Okay, so I guess I've been to two then. I forgot about convention. I was just thinking about like just a normal.
Yeah, and
everyday
that's,
show,
that's
yeah.
where you pulled the standard from. That's
Yes.
for the commercial show.
Exactly. So
Because each breed will have a certain subset of points for fur.
for their fur, but
But
that's
like
your
Palomino has a certain amount of points on fur
right,
and a certain amount of points on body.
right.
Yeah.
But that's their that's per their breed,
Mhm.
not just the big class of
Mhm.
commercial fur, or you're looking at the rabbit specifically to harvest its pelt. Okay, not that you're gonna do that. It's
Yeah, I've
probably
only
gonna go back
ever
to your
seen
barn.
those types of shows at national
Yes.
level.
They're not local
Yeah,
shows.
I've
Yeah,
never
they are
seen it.
not.
Well,
No.
not here. It's very popular in Ohio and Indiana.
Yes.
Yes, they'll have meat pens and they'll auction them off for thousands of dollars.
Right. That's
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was.
it's-
That's what I was thinking. Oh, I forgot about convention, but I was just thinking at like a normal show or like a fair show. I've only been to one. Let's call in local shows that has had a commercial fur class. So it's not like you're gonna go to a show in a couple weeks and find a commercial fur class there. I mean, I guess there's nothing preventing you from entering a rabbit as that, but you might be the only one because it's just not very
You gotta
common.
get a posse.
Yeah, you would want, so it's something you would want to talk to some other breeders and be like, hey, I'm going to enter a fur class, you know, and do a commercial fur class. Do you want to do that with me? You know, something like that. Or if you had just a whole lot of rabbits, I don't know. But anyway, so I did want to say that, like, don't expect to show up to the next show and be like, where's the commercial fur class? It's probably not there. Okay.
Well, there's no demand for fur anymore anyway,
There's
so
not,
there's
right.
no purpose to really raise for a fur class.
Exactly. So I mean, I think that's why breeders do like the individual breed fur class, because they just want to get together and see which rabbit has the best fur. Mine obviously does. Anyway, so yeah. So that concludes what I have to say about commercial fur, and I'm going to move these back over, but we've got, like I said, a hollow mop, which is rollback, a palomino, which is a very dense flyback, a black New Zealand, which is a flyback, a little bit of a thinner flyback, or snappier, you might say, a Czech Frosty, which is a slow rollback. We don't have a satin. I should have called him and been like, bring a satin. We actually have satins in the area now. Yay! Okay. We have a lots of wool breeds. Okay, and mini Rex up there. So and we don't have a standing. We don't have a silver fox here, but you can get your hands on all of these and see what they feel like. And we'll give y'all some time now to do that before we start the Rex presentation. Okay.